Welcome back to Rachel's Fit Pilates. This is a full body workout that has exercises from mat Pilates, reformer Pilates, and wall Pilates. So we're going to start lying down, have your legs hip distance apart, knees bent, feet flat on the ground, and you can place your hands on your hip bones. So we're just going to start with some breathing. So breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, just trying to center ourselves here before we get moving. Good, now you're going to take your low back and try to bring it closer to the ground and then bring it back to our starting position. This is called imprinting the spine. And I want you to focus on trying to have your abdominals do this movement and not by pressing your feet into the ground and using those glutes to tilt back. Now the most important thing here is just feeling that ab engagement and not necessarily if you can press that low back into the mat. So just keep that in mind and work within a comfortable range of motion. Great, you can place your hands down. Now we'll go into marching. So you're gonna pick one foot up, place it down, and then the other foot and place it down. So we're gonna alternate back and forth like this. And as we pick those legs up, just think about trying to keep those hip bones level, so not rocking back and forth in the hips. This is how even the simplest movements can require a lot of core work. Okay, one more. Now we're gonna pick both legs up and put them into tabletop. So the knees are over the hips and we're gonna do toe tap. So tapping down, come back up, and then the other one and come back up. And we'll go for 10. Now, if this is uncomfortable in your low back, you can keep that imprinted position that we did in the beginning, where we have that low back pressed into the mat or close to it. This will help engage the abdominals and provide support there as we go up and down. Great, now extend one leg, bring it back to tabletop, and the other back to tabletop. We'll go back and forth for 10. So reach and come back and reach. Point that toe, feel that length through the leg. And you may notice this is more challenging than dropping the toes in tabletop because we're reaching the legs further away. That's so much more challenging for our abdominals. The more that you feel stronger and progress, you can try to bring the legs lower to challenge yourself even more. Okay, let's bring the legs down. Now we're gonna drop the knees to one side. Feel that nice stretch through the low back. This is a little spinal rotation. We're just gonna take a few breaths here. Now come back to center and then drop your knees to the other side. Just taking a few breaths here as well. Okay, let's bring our legs back to center. We're gonna warm up the legs and then we'll move on to our workout. So we'll take a breath in here, and then as you exhale, press up into a bridge. Take a breath here, and then roll back down. We'll do 2 more like this. So rolling through imprints, come up onto the shoulder blades, and come back down. And again, rolling up, pressing through those feet to lift up, come back down. Now let's press up into a bridge again. This time you're gonna lift one heel up, drop the heel, and then the other. We'll go back and forth like this. And as we transfer the weight, still try to keep those hips level. This may mean you need to bring up your heel a little bit less, and that's totally fine. Okay, plant that foot. We can go back down. Now for the next one, we're gonna lift back up. You can do what we just did, or you can pick the foot up and then the other foot. So pick whichever you feel stable with, and let's go for 10. All right, we have 2 more. Plant that foot, and you can come back down. Now from here, we'll go into some ab work. So we're gonna flex up and come back down. So we'll go for 10 like this. You can also use your hands to support your head if that's more comfortable for your neck. What I've noticed in myself is the more I practice, I'm able to flex up more and stay more lifted. And that will put less pressure on the neck because the head doesn't stay back as much. Good, and we'll go for 5 more. Okay, from here, let's bring our feet up into tabletop. We're gonna flex up again. You can put your hands behind your head if you need to. So flexing up and then coming back down. So a second set of ab prep, but this time with the legs up. And for all of these ab moves, we want to breathe in as we lower the head and breathe out as you flex up. And if you find the tabletop position uncomfortable, you can place your feet down and continue the ab prep like we did with the first one. Good, we have 2 more. And last one. Okay, bring the feet down. Let's press up into a bridge so you can feel that stretch through the hip flexors and then come back down. Okay, let's place the legs back into tabletop. Now this time we're gonna be tapping the toes. So tap one toe, come back up, tap the other toe, come back up. Let's go for 10. If this is uncomfortable, you can also keep your head down while you tap the toes. All right, we have 2 more. Okay, place your head down. You can put your feet down. Now from here, we're gonna build on the warm up we did. So this time we're gonna bring the legs back into tabletop and then extend the legs, this time flexed up. So let's go. So reaching through the feet, and remember just going at a comfortable height for you. Now I get asked, should I do things with a neutral spine or an imprint where you try to keep that low back into the mat? The most important thing is if you can keep that contraction in your abs. So if you can do that with a neutral spine, that's great. But if you need to press that low back into the mat to keep that ab engagement, then that's what you should do. Okay, let's put our feet down. We're gonna go up into a bridge one more time. Feeling that stretch through the hip flexors. We can come back down. Okay, from here we're gonna do some back work. So we are going to lie on our stomachs and work on some back extension. So legs are straight and apart, toes are pointed, and elbows are bent by our sides with our hands pressed to the ground. We're gonna lift up and come back down, and we'll do that for 10. So we're gonna extend through that spine and then bring the head down, just hovering over the ground. And as we do this, I'm trying to keep my abs drawn in. This will help me not extend too much in the spine and feel it in my low back. So just keep that in mind and come up at just a comfortable range for you. All right, we just have 2 more. And last one. Okay, from here we're gonna push back into a shell stretch. So you can press up and then sit back on your feet with a nice round curve in your spine. That's the opposite of the extension that we're doing, so that should feel nice to stretch that out. Okay, so let's go back into that position. Arms are gonna be the same, but this time when we press up, we're gonna try to lift up, lifting the feet slightly and lifting the arms. And just lifting up at a comfortable range. It does not need to be this high. You want it to be comfortable, but just feeling that nice extension through the back and then the leg muscles helping as well to lift up. We'll do 5 more and then we'll push back into a shell stretch. Okay, we have 1 left. Come back down, and then you can push back into that shell stretch, feeling that curve through the spine by drawing those abs in, taking a few breaths here, and then we'll just have 1 more exercise that works those similar muscles. Okay, so let's come back up, lie back onto our stomachs. Now this time we're gonna have the arms extended, so straight in front, feet are the same. We're gonna lift one arm up as the opposite leg lifts, and then do the other one, and we're gonna alternate back and forth like this. So now that we have those arms straight in front, you really want to feel like you're reaching through those arms, reaching through the opposite leg. And just keep your head hovered down. I'm engulfed by my hair, but that is what I am doing. Okay, we have one more on each side. Try to reach out through that arm and that foot. And now you can come back into a shell stretch. We're all set there. Just take a few breaths here. And you can come back up. Okay, now we're gonna do a little side work. So you're gonna lie down and we're gonna do some side lying. So we're gonna stack the hips and legs right on top of each other, resting on the forearm, and then your other hand can go on your hip. We're just gonna be lifting the leg up, so that top leg's gonna lift up and come back down for 10. So the big things here is we don't wanna be rocking back and forth. You wanna really feel stable. So just bring it up to a comfortable height. And I do find that pointing my toes and trying to feel length through that foot, really reaching out, helps me feel more balanced here. Good, you can bring that leg down. Now we're gonna work into the inner thigh of the bottom leg. So lift the top leg up and then have the bottom one meet it and bring them both down. And we'll do that for 10. And choose a height as you bring that leg up that is comfortable for you. So it might not need to be this high. You just wanna bring it up so that bottom leg can come and meet the top leg. Okay, last one. Okay, now with the top leg, we're gonna do circles. So lift the leg up about the same height as the hip, and then we're gonna circle. So do a small circle backwards for 5, and then we'll go 5 the other way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now forward for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, bring that leg down. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So legs stacked on top of each other, and we'll start by lifting the top leg up for 1 and 2. Feel that length through that foot, nice and controlled and lifted, not only through the legs, but also through the abs. The obliques are working here to help keep us up, so try not to sink with your stomach into the ground. Okay, let's lift the top leg and the bottom one comes to meet it. We'll repeat that. Okay, we're almost done. This one's pretty challenging for me, so if it was hard for you, I feel you too. Okay, now from here, we're gonna do the circles. So lift that top leg up and then we're gonna circle. We'll circle for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Another way for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, bring that leg down. Okay, you can sit up. Now we're gonna go into a variation of an exercise that we do on the reformer. So this is called star prep, where we stack those knees right on top of each other. One hand on your hip and the other hand is straight on the ground in the same line as your knees. We're gonna lift up and come back down. And we'll do this for 5. So let's lift up and then come back down. So you feel like you're seated and then you're trying to get up and come back down. So you're opening through those hips and down and lift up and down. And then last one. Okay, let's go to the other side. So put one knee over the other. Make sure that hand is in the same line as the knee. We're gonna lift up and come back down for 5. Good. You may need to adjust your arms so that you feel like you can fully come up. And then we'll do one more. Okay, great. From here, let's head over to the wall. We'll do some arms and abs. So we're gonna place our feet hip distance apart on the wall. You can lie on your back. Your arms are gonna be straight right by your ears. We're gonna flex up and come back down, and we'll go for 10. So drawing those arms up and coming back. Now you can use your feet against the wall to press into the wall and help you feel like you're getting a deeper contraction into the abs. And try to be controlled with those arm movements. It is tempting, but try not to have them be momentum to help get you up. We want to just be coming down, really using the abs to lift ourselves up and then coming back down. Last one. Okay, now we're gonna bring the upper arm down by our side. We're gonna extend the arms. So straighten the arms as you flex up, then bend the elbow. Now you can stay flexed up for this if you like, or you can keep your head down, and we'll go for 10. So straighten that arm by your hips, and then come back. And 2, 3. So each time you straighten, try to really squeeze that tricep, so the muscle behind your arm, in the back of your arm, that will help you get the most out of the movement here. And you can have your hands flat like I am, or you can have them curled under. It doesn't make a difference here. Okay, we can bring our heads down. Now I'm gonna move out slightly just so I have a little bit more space on the side of the wall. You're gonna put your arms in a V, and then we're gonna come straight up again as we flex up, and then lower back down, and we'll do that for 10. So lifting up and coming down. So this is a little series that we do on the reformer. So typically we would have straps here. You could also do this with ankle weights on your wrists, or you could do it with dumbbells if you want to make it more challenging. Okay, we have one left. And come back down. Now you're gonna bend your elbows, put your hands by your ears. We're gonna reach overhead, flex up, and then come back down, put our hands in the same position. We'll go 10 in each direction. So lift up and lower. Reach with those arms, lower back down. We have just one left. Okay, now we're gonna reverse. So bring those arms overhead, bend those elbows, and lift up. And again, behind the head, bend and lift. And we're gonna repeat that. Okay, last one. Okay, now we're gonna give those arms and abs a break, and we're gonna go into some leg work and bridging. So you can push away from the wall. We'll do some bridging on the wall a little later. So have those legs hip distance apart. Let's bridge up. Now you're gonna put one leg in tabletop, and we'll do toe taps and come back up. We'll do that for 10. So 10 on each side. And last one. Let's take a break in between so you can come down. Let's bridge back up on both feet. Now place the other leg in tabletop and tap for 10. And last one. And place that foot down. Go ahead and come back down. Now from here, we're gonna lift back up with both legs, and this time extend the legs. So tabletop, extend to tabletop. We'll repeat that for 10. Now this presents a greater challenge because we're reaching that leg away. You wanna be mindful of not dropping the hip of the leg that's moving. If you feel you can't do that, you can go back to the toe taps that we did right before this. Place that foot down and we'll go to the other side. Okay, we have one more. Put that foot down and you can come back down. Now we'll do one more variation here. So let's bridge up again. Pick up one leg. Now you're going to extend the leg out and then lift the leg up towards the ceiling and back to tabletop. We'll do that for 5. All right, we have one left. Put that foot down and we can come back down. Now we'll come back up and then go to the other side. One more. Great, okay, put that foot down. Let's come back down and let's stretch it out. So bring those knees in. You can wrap your arms around, rock back and forth. Feel that nice stretch through the low back. Now from here, let's extend the legs back out. We're gonna bridge back up. Keep the leg in tabletop this time. We're just gonna drop the hips, come back up, and we'll do that for 10. So down and lift. You don't have to bring it all the way down to the ground, just a little bit, then lift back up and really squeeze that glute when you're fully up. Okay, place that foot down. We'll go to the other side. So dropping those hips, lift back up. Drop and squeeze. And we'll do this for 10. Bring that foot down and you can come back down. Now bring those legs in, wrap the arms around, rock back and forth, and we'll move on to some more arms and abs. So you can sit up. We're gonna go into a quadruped position where our hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips, and they're separated hip distance apart. Your toes will be curled under. Now let's take a breath in. Now draw your abs in as you exhale, and we're gonna lift up, hold, and come back down. We'll do that for 10. So let's lift up and come back down. You can choose how high you want to go here. It's okay if your knees don't come off the ground. Just trying to make an attempt to slightly bring them up, even if they're still hitting the floor or the carpet, is totally fine. It'll still help you build strength and then work up to coming up higher. Okay, we have one more and come back down. Okay, from here we're going to add on. So this time we're going to be lifting up and then bringing one foot up and then the other foot up. And we'll alternate like that. Now, if that's too much, you can keep the knees down and just slightly lift a knee up, slightly lift the knee up, and alternate like that. So your choice, and let's begin. So lift and then come down in between. And again, lift up. So it's just a small movement here. We don't want to be bringing the glutes up too much. And we want to keep those abs in to help us not arch through that low back and feel any pain there. Good job. Okay, we can take a break. So sit back, stretch those arms. It is quite a bit on the shoulders because those shoulders really have to support us as we lift up. So get a nice little stretch here, shake them out. And we'll walk the arms back out and go into a push-up prep. So arms are going to be the same, but the legs are going to be further away, and you want to bring your hips down. All we're going to do is lift the knees up and bring them back down, and we'll do that for 10. So go ahead and lift back up and slightly touch the knees, lift back up again. If you feel like your glutes are too high up, you might need to walk your feet further out. And those feet are right next to each other. So good, we just have one left. Okay, bring those knees down, shake those arms out. Now from here, we're gonna go back to the wall and we'll do some glute and leg work there. Okay, so let's head back to the wall. You're gonna come up, put your feet onto the wall, hip distance apart, and you want your hips to be underneath your knees. We'll do 3 roll-ups. So we're gonna roll through imprint, come up onto the shoulder blades, roll back down, and again, roll up. We're gonna try to move quick here. And then last one, rolling up. Now just drop the hips up and down for 10. So down and up. We just hover over the ground here. We're not bringing them all the way to the ground. Now for some of you, pressing into the wall will help you feel like you can lift up more. But for others, pressing into the wall might make you scoot further back. So just do what you can here to try to stay lifted without sliding away from the wall. Good, okay, let's come back down. Now from here, we're gonna lift back up and then alternate bringing the heels up. So lift one heel up, put it down, other heel, and put it down. We'll alternate back and forth for 10. So as we alternate the heels, we wanna try to be staying level through the hips and not letting that drop as we go back and forth. One more on each side. All right, let's come back down. Now you can bring those knees in, wrap those arms around, stretch it out. That feels good through the low back for me. Now let's put those legs back onto the wall. This time we're gonna march. So let's lift back up, just coming up onto the shoulder blades. You're gonna pick one foot up, place it down, and then the other foot and place it down. If that's too hard, just do it with lifting the heels like we did before. So lift one leg, place it down, the other leg, and down. So this whole time we're trying to stay super stable through the core and not rocking back and forth in the hips. This will really help build core stability and still work the glutes too as we try to stay lifted. Okay, let's come back down. Take a few moments rest here. Now turn your feet out so the heels are closer together and then the toes are apart. We're gonna lift up and drop the hips up and down for 10. Last one. Now we're gonna lift the heels up for 10. So lift both heels up and come back down. Our feet are still in that V, and we're trying to stay lifted through the whole movement. We'll do one more here, and we can come back down, bring those knees in, rock back and forth. And from here, we're gonna move on to single leg. So we can place our legs back onto the wall. You can scoot up if you need to, if you had scooted away a bit. Now from here, we're gonna push up with both legs. So let's bridge up, put one leg in tabletop. We're gonna drop the hips up and down for 10. Sit down and lift. And 2. 3. Now, if it's too challenging with your foot on the wall, you could always put your foot onto the ground It's quite a bit more challenging to do it with just one leg, so it is absolutely fine to put it on the ground for any of these. Okay, let's switch sides. So now we're gonna go down and lift, and we'll do that for 10. Okay, last one. Let's put that foot on the wall, come back down. You can bring those knees in, stretch that out. We just have one left, and then we'll do some really nice stretches. So let's put those feet back onto the wall, or you could have your feet on the ground if you need to for this. We're gonna lift that leg straight up towards the ceiling, and then we're gonna do circles, 5 one way and then 5 the other way. So let's circle for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we'll go the other way for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, let's finish strong. Other leg, circle for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We want to start with smaller circles here, and then as you progress and feel more stable, you can make them larger. Let's put that foot down, and now we can come down, and we will put one leg over the other. You can scoot closer if you like. So one leg over the other knee, and then you can draw that leg in as much as feels comfortable for you. So the leg that's kind of folded in front, you're gonna be feeling that through the glute on that side. So we'll just sit and hold here. Okay, let's switch sides. So now put the other leg in front and then pull that leg through if you'd like to deepen that stretch. Okay, let's sit up. Now we're gonna go into one of my favorite stretches. This is so good for the spine and the chest. So you can lie on your side. You can have that bottom hand support your head. You're gonna reach with that top arm. We're gonna lift up and then rotate back. You can have a straight arm, or you can put your arm bent like in a W. This will feel really good through the front of the shoulder, and then we'll come back. You can do the stretch in a way that feels good for you. I do like drawing my abs in and not having those ribs flare out as much before I begin. Okay, bring the arm back in front. From here, we'll do 3 more. So we're gonna do 5 on each side. So rotating back, feel that stretch, take a few breaths here. This would be a great stretch to do in the morning when you wake up or after a day in the office. All right, last one. So lifting up and rotate back. Breathe in here and then bring the arm back in front. And then we'll go to the other side. So now you're gonna lie on the other side. Same thing, we're gonna have that hand supporting underneath, and then the arm's gonna start by reaching in front. Now with the breath, you can inhale as you come up, and then exhale, rotate, taking a few breaths here. And then bringing that arm back in front. And we'll repeat for 4. Okay, and last one. From here, we'll sit up, and you can sit on your knees if you like, or you can sit with your legs out in front of you. This should help us feel a nice stretch through the ab muscles. We did a lot of flexing up today, so a lot of good ab work. So this is a great little stretch for the front of the abs there. Okay, now let's bring those arms forward. We'll do another shell stretch, so rounding that spine. And then if you want to, you can separate your knees so that you can feel a little deeper stretch into the hips. And we'll hold. Okay, and you can come up. You're all set. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this combination of exercises. Please let me know if you did, and I can't wait to see you again.